am there. Should we start?
Yeah, we start.
Neeti, I
Hi
can't hear you.
everyone.
Your voice is breaking, Neeti.
So today we have just started a new. 1 second, just a second.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody.
Hi Lekha.
Hi everyone. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Lekha?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so today we are starting with a new series called Women at the Top. So this series, as you know, it's like we are just getting our women from different genres and we are inviting them to just share their experience. So today is the first session of our new series called Women at the Top, and so for the first session we have Lekha Gupta.
Wow, I'm lucky.
She is a celebrity makeup artist. Makeup. So it was coincidence, like So Lekha and I met on a workshop. So I was taking a fluid art workshop, and she was there as a participant. So then at that time I didn't know that she's a huge celebrity makeup artist and
Nothing
all.
like that.
Once I tagged her and all, yeah. So once I tagged her and all, then I realized no, she's like a huge personality type. So then I was like, let's try inviting her and all.
Sure, it's my
Then
pleasure
I
to be
think
here.
went
So,
out.
so glad. But Neeti, your voice is coming and
So
going.
Lekha
Your voice
started
is
a.
cracking.
Still, you can't hear me properly.
No, I can, but it's coming at a lag.
Okay. So I'll try to just speak a little more louder. So what about Lekha? Lekha started a career in makeup industry in 2011. So it's almost like a decade she is in
Yeah,
this
almost.
industry. But before this, she had done everything. She has done teaching. She was a banker at one point. She has done multiple things. So so she has worked in various films with various film celebrities, many things. So we start with our seminar now. So Lekha, will you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, guys. So Neeti's given me a fabulous decorative introduction, but it's nothing like that. I simply follow my passion. I'm a makeup artist since almost a decade, as she said, and well, it wasn't really what I had decided to do. And one sec. So basically, it wasn't really what I had decided to do when I was in college or something, because I didn't even have any idea about makeup. So I was working with ICICI Prudential, a financial institution in mutual funds, and I was heading the national distribution. Um, and I was experimenting with colors. I loved wearing makeup myself, and that's where the whole concept probably, seeped into my head that, okay, fine, this is something which I love, and why not try a career out of it? And voila, here I am after 10 years, loving what I'm doing each and every moment. I have absolutely no qualms, irrespective of the kind of hard work that we put in. Let me tell you guys, Bollywood, it may sound glamorous. It is glamorous, but it is really, really a lot of hard work which goes in. We have no working hours. Like, we are pretty much working round the clock. And yes, it is difficult. We work in different climates. We work for hours. We don't sleep at night. We do double shifts. But yes, at the end of it, I have no qualms and I love what I do. So that's
Great.
me. Yeah.
Really nice. So, as you said, you have been a banker and everything. So, it's a similar story as mine. So, I have done my
Yeah.
engineering. Yeah. So, after engineering, I shifted to like a banker thing. And after that, I'm here finally as an artist and a teacher. So, it's something similar. So, it's like everyone asks, like, how did you change your stream and everything? So, is it really easy to switch the careers and everything? So, what's your opinion for that?
Well, there's nothing easy, there's nothing tough. It's all a perception. That's something which I personally believe. And guys, let me tell you one thing, whatever I speak over here today in the seminar is not just gyan. Huh? It's all from personal experience. I have been through it, I have lived it. So, and hence I am being able to say it with so much of conviction. I will not lie to you. It is not easy. It is definitely not easy because you have been groomed and you believe that you're good at certain stuff. That does not mean that that is your passion. Like I was very good at my job. I can tell you that I got my numbers and I really did well in my corporate sector. But did I really love it? Did I look forward to going to office every day? No. So, having said that, it's a huge transition more than actually switching from one career to the other. It's the mental preparation which needs to be done. I mean, first of all, forget about the world. You really need to convince yourself what you want to do. And as a, an advice that I would want to give to everybody, if you can manage or if you're lucky enough to follow your passion as your profession, and this is something which I stand by and I tell everybody in all my seminars, um, if you are able to follow your passion as your profession, you will never be bored. There will never be a monotony which is going to set in, because that is something which you love doing and you don't mind doing it, so irrespective of the stretched hours. But yeah, Neeti, to answer your question, it's not easy, but I would say that you need to be convinced. If you are convinced that this is something which you love doing and this is something which you want to do, then there's nothing called easy or tough. Then you will eventually end up doing that, irrespective of whether it be easy or whether it's tough. So yes, go ahead and follow your dreams and figure out what you want to do, and there's no turning back from there. Neeti, I hope that answers your question.
Lekha, that was really interesting what you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
said. But I want to
definitely.
know how to start, like, So, following your dream and everything sounds really good when you've achieved your dream. But, how did you start? Where did you start? Like,
Okay.
did you take up a
Uh,
course? Like,
yeah. So a
tell
very
us your
interesting
journey.
question. I really like your question because there is no rule to where to start. You cannot
Okay.
one day wake up with a eureka moment. Oh wow, today this is what I want to do, and yay, my career is sorted. It's not going to happen like that. For me, I can tell you, I have done a lot of trial and error. I have not only done one thing, I have done multiple things in my life. And only after, so there's a very common saying that cross the bridge when you get there. So, you will have to keep trying and figuring out what is that calling in you. It will not come. I will not say it will not come. You may get it in the very first few years of your post your graduation, or when you're starting out, or it may just take you 10 years or 10 years or 12 years. So time should not be a constraint, and don't shy away from the fact that what you're doing is something which you like. Honestly speaking, you probably will not even know up to a certain age this is your passion. So you will have to go with whatever is coming in your way, embrace everything, accept everything, and there is a time when you will realize this is something which you either don't want to do, or this is something which you want to do. So in my whole scheme of affair, I figured out what I want to do much later. But what came to me as a eureka moment was my current job is something that I don't want to do. So that's
Right.
the first step. You may not be able to figure out what you want to do, but you will definitely know whether what you're doing is something you want to do or you don't want to do. So the minute you get a calling from within that this is not something which you don't want to do, I would say take it seriously. There will be people who will say that nahi, how can you, it's not easy in a city like Bombay. It's not easy to let go of your job and do something
Right.
totally different from your industry. I have been working in ICICI for 8.5 years. So when I decided to quit, forget about anybody else. My own parents, they fell from the sky. Ki, what the hell? How can you quit a white collar job and pursue something like makeup? Like, even in today's day, makeup is considered to be not a white collar job. So, it's not going to be easy. But yes, as I said, it's very important to figure out what you don't want to do, because that is the first step. Once you know what you don't want to do, you will figure out ways to find out what you want to do. And it may not come to you in one go. It may take a couple of trial and error. You may want to try your hands or dip your hands in different things and see what works for you. That's fine. It's absolutely fine, because end of the day, remember that whatever you learn, nothing goes waste. So even if you don't take it up as a career, if you're trying your hands with it and you're trying to see if it works for you, it's not going to go waste. Some way or the other, it's going to come back. So answering your question, Madhurika, part of it I answered. the remaining is that, yeah, of course, when you decide or when you know what you want to do, there are two ways of doing it. Either you figure out a way to intern or get in touch with somebody who's already an established person in that genre or field of your interest, and see if you can intern with the person, because to me nothing works better than on the job experience, because you learn the most when you're on the job. The alternative could be, you could actually pursue a course in it if a course is available. But it could be an online, it could be you can go to a school or specialized vocational training. So you could do both the things, or one at a time, or both simultaneously.
So, okay. So, are there any, like, how did you go about it? Did you go for an internship first? How did you get in
No,
touch with somebody from the?
so I did not get in touch with anybody. I just worked my way through, as I said. So when I decided, the day I quit my job, but by then I had already figured out that I want to do a course. So I quit my job, and I uh, I did a course from Makeup Forever Singapore for 2.5 months. So again, I was new to this field. I didn't have anybody, any background or anybody working in makeup industry who could guide me. So it was all my own research. So I was thorough with my research, and I was convinced with the course that I had selected. It may not be the best course in the world, but this something which suited my pocket, my budget, as well as something which I figured out was I'm content with. So your contentment is very important. So I did that course, and then when I came back, I started looking for the job. I mean, honestly speaking, yes, I will say that I've been lucky and I've been grateful to get the right opportunities and to meet the right set of people. But as I said, I just didn't give up. I kept trying. And let me tell you one thing, there is absolutely no shame in asking for work. Like for me, I don't know, I mean, it may sound alienated to you, but for me, it was, this I'm saying on the hindsight, because I was working in a bank, in a financial institution, where it was considered as a high regard job, and everybody I had people reporting into me, and I had my distributors and all addressing me as ma'am, and so my auqad was here. I used to think I'm up in the air, and then from there, boom, suddenly I'm just on the floor, on the ground, without any help, nobody, no godfather, no godmother. And for me, at that point in time, reaching out to somebody and asking for help, or saying, look, hey, I'm a makeup artist, if you need makeup, let me know, I was extremely ashamed. Like I was, I used to feel so embarrassed. Ki, kaise, I shouldn't be asking for work. It's so embarrassing. But trust me, guys, it isn't. There is no harm. There is no shame in asking for work. Feel free. Reach out to everybody, because unless and until you make yourself available and out there, nobody will know you. You have to put yourself out there. Only when you're out there, out in the market, good, bad, ugly comes later. You need to be present there. And that's how I was. I mean, I was there. I, haath pair marod, and I, figured out different ways. I reached out to every contact person on my phone book and said, hey, I'm, switched my career, and this is what I'm doing. Please call me if you need any makeup requirements. And I've done a lot of work for free. I've done it, just to practice, because at that point in time, I needed my hand to be set. And the best way to get your hand set is practice, 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 practice. And that's what I did. Any woman I used to see, my friend list me, I used to just catch hold of them and say, chal, tere pe makeup kar letu. So that's how I worked my way through. And yeah, with makeup, I did not get into celebrity right in the beginning. It takes time. What I started off immediately was bridals. That's the lowest hanging fruit that is available in my industry. So I grabbed onto it, and yeah, slow and steady, step by step, I am where I am today.
Great. So how did you convince your parents, like, for the
I
switch of
didn't.
career? How did you? You didn't?
I didn't.
Okay.
They didn't get convinced. So I gave it up. I just quit. I just quit. And so basically, I'm not from Bombay. My parents live in Calcutta. I'm from Calcutta. I moved to Bombay after I got married. So this whole career shift happened after my marriage. And when I told my dad, the first thing he was very upset that, and I'm a postgraduate in finance. So I'm a finance MBA. So for him, leaving finance and MBA, you are going, and he doesn't understand the concept of makeup. Like today he does, back then he did not. And in Calcutta, there is no such. Bombay mein fir bhi people are aware, but in Calcutta, people are not aware of a career out of makeup. So in his mind, he was thinking that I'm going to go to people's house and do pedicure and manicure. So he was like, he felt, he literally died. He's like, it can't happen. I mean, it's not happening to me. It's not true. But yeah, they come around. If once they see that your parents and your loved ones, your friends and family, once they see that you are convinced with what you're doing, you are happy in what you're doing, they will come around. So don't be scared about the fact that parents are not agreeing. Yes, of course, if you're still with them and if you're still living with them, it is very important to get their buy-in. So I would suggest, if any of y'all are facing this kind of an issue, sit with them and talk to them. And guys, you guys are at an advantage that today you have internet. There's so much knowledge available out there, and there is a career out of anything and everything. But when I decided, or when I was graduating, it was just typical commerce, science and arts. There was not much of a choice. But then in today's kids have so much of choices, and the parents obviously are much more open than what my parents were. So sit with them, talk to them, and tell them, show them your interest, show them your prospect, your research. And if they see that your research is strong, which means you're really interested, so they will come around.
That was a really good advice about the research, knowing everything about your industry
Very
and coming up
important.
as an expert. Yes,
Yeah.
everything. So, Neeti, are you asking something, or can I ask my question?
Yeah, ask her. Go on.
So, like you said, you started with bridal makeups and everything else,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so, and is it required to do right now as well? Like, if somebody wants to get into celebrity makeup artist, there are so many agencies you can apply to and everything. What career path would you suggest them now? Like, given the opportunities that are available.
Okay. The first advice that I want to give them is stop comparing yourself with somebody else, because that's what most people are doing right now. I get at least on an average 8 to 10 messages on a daily basis on my Instagram account. Can I intern with you? Can I intern with you? Can I intern with you? It's absolutely okay to reach out, but stop comparing yourself with somebody else, because you don't know that other person's struggle. So basically, it's about, you are comparing two different chapters of a book. You can't compare two different chapters. Your chapter 1 may be equal to that person's chapter 10. So you really don't know. So there's no point in comparing. And take it slow. I feel what I have seen in today's world is that people don't have patience. Kids don't have patience. They want to be there right from the beginning, and it's not going to happen like that. Just, that's the truth of it. You will have to work your way. And trust me, when you work your way up, that is there to stay. It's never going to go away from you. It's never going to be taken away from you, because you have worked your way up step by step instead of being right there. So yes, you can get empaneled with one of these agencies. There are lots and lots of talent management agencies right now. That's an easier way out. You can get associated with them. Having said that, I feel nothing works better than word of mouth. So you keep telling people, as many people as you know in your entire phone book, that this is what you're doing, and you will, there will be an opportunity for you coming soon. That's something which I really, really believe.
Good. So the thing is, how did you start? Did you work under someone, or did you start your own thing from the start?
No, I didn't work under somebody. I came back from Singapore, and as I said, I struggled, worked my way out, messaged people, irritated the life out of them by sending, hey, is there any work? Every week I used to message. So one fine day, somebody got irritated and said, okay, fine, chal, isko de dete, itna paka rahi hai. So, and that's how I got my first break. So, yeah. I mean, you just have to, I just feel you should just hang in there and
How did you
understand
find the
one thing, guys. One thing I want to tell you is that there is a lot of work for everybody. So there is no need to be insecure, because a lot of people ask me that, there are so many makeup artists coming out every day from some institute or the other. So how do we get work? There is, the number of makeup artists is coming out. So it's a demand and supply. The reason that the number of so many makeup artists are coming out is because there is an inflated demand of so many makeup artists. So you be rest assured that you will find your workspace very soon. But what you need to be keep in mind is that you have to be patient. It just may happen overnight. It may not happen overnight, but that does not make you good or less good or bad than the person to which it's happened overnight. So that's why I said, do not compare yourself with anybody, not your peers, not your seniors, not somebody whose Instagram profile you're following and saying, oh shit, I wish I was like. No, it doesn't happen like that. You will be in your own space, in your own capacity, at your own time. And when I say this, I really mean it. Your time will come. You will not know where it is. But your job is not to figure out when that time comes. Your job is to just hang in there and continue to do what you're doing. So that's my advice to all of you.
That was a really good advice. There are many myths when it comes to working in Bollywood, right? Like, it's glamorous and like, you don't have to you can just take a chill pill because everything is like not in a routine. There are so many myths, related to it. What are the myths that you would like to break down when it comes to the makeup industry? Like, any challenges that people are not aware of that they will definitely face while finding
Many
work?
challenges. Trust me, there are more challenges than glam. So what you see is the end result, which is the glam factor. Of course, there's a lot of fun. I loved working in Bollywood. It is like, I don't know. I mean, I just love it. And I'm really missing it now because it's been 2.5 months that we are not been shooting. So I love what I do. And there are lots and lots of challenges. But let me tell you one thing, that there are challenges in every career, in every organization, in every job, in some way or the other. It depends on how you want to perceive it, how you check it out, how you see it. There are, I always try and wait that, okay, in my job, these were the things, these were pros and these were the cons. And in my makeup industry, makeup profession, these are the pros, these are the cons. So there will be pros and cons in everything. But the biggest myth is that everything is chilled out. It's not.
Right.
We work really, really very hard. We work, when you guys, a lot of people are sitting indoor in the AC, we are working at 50 degree in Jaipur, in the desert, middle of the desert. It's not easy. We are working for 18 hours, 20 hours, night shifts, our food habits and our whole schedule goes for a toss, because one day we are doing night, after 2 days we are doing day, again we are doing night, again we are doing day. Food goes for a toss. We are working in crazy conditions. People who are at a job can say that, okay, today it's raining, it's flooded, I'll take a chill pill, I'll sit at home. We can't say that. If there is a shoot, irrespective of what is happening, if your artist has reached, you will have to reach. So it's very, very challenging, but I think that's the fun, because when you put in, so hard work is something which you put in all your work. I mean, in every profession, in every industry, in every work that you do, you put in hard work. But I feel what gives you the kick is when that hard work is transformed into that 70 screen and you see your work, and you feel, wow. I mean, that's something that gives you that kick and that adrenaline rush. And I think that's something which pushes you. So yeah, there are many myths that is easy. I will not say it's easy. I would say it's super fun, but it's very, very tiring also in terms of, physical tiredness.
So how does it work? Are you associated with a movie, like a production house, or do
No,
you
no, no,
work
no.
personally for
No,
actors?
I am a freelance makeup artist.
Okay.
So whoever wants to hire me, I'm here. So I'm available to everybody. Even if you guys want to hire me for your personal makeup, I'll be more than happy, because every face to me is a new challenge, because every face is different. Every look is different. So even if you have one look, like for example, if you talk of the most sought after look is the smoky look, it's going to be very different from face to face. So every time I do a smoky on a different face is a new challenge for me. So that is something which really keeps me going, because all said and done, even if makeup sounds the same, like makeup, but every day when you're working on a new face, that is a challenge itself. So you have a challenge which you're giving to yourself, and you are always competing with yourself. So I'm always competing. Okay, last time I did this smoky on her, let's try and do something better, even if it's the same face. So you don't care about who the competition is, you know, who's doing that. You are only competing with yourself. Last time I did this, everyone said she looked fab. Today my aim is to make her look something different so that somebody says, oh wow, this was better than yesterday. So I am actually benchmarking myself to myself, my today's work to my yesterday's work. And that's the only way I feel you can sustain, because all said and done, this is a very competitive industry. It's very competitive. It can get to you if you let it get to you. So it's all about you. It's all up to you how you want to look at things and how you want to work yourself around it.
Okay. So I think there's a question like,
Yeah.
can you tell us about your biggest breakthrough in your career?
I can't hear your voice, Neeti's voices.
Okay,
I think there's a question. Someone has asked. Yeah, go on, Malvika.
No, it's okay. Continue.
No. So there's a question. Someone has asked about your biggest breakthrough in your career.
Biggest breakthrough? Well, I don't want to sound cliche, but every new celebrity that I worked on has been my biggest breakthrough. Because every time I've got a new celebrity, forget about not only every time I've got a new celebrity, every time I go to work, even if it's the same celebrity, I feel nervous. I feel, oh shit, you know, will I be able to, you know, give my best and all. So, and when I am able to give my best, I feel that is the biggest satisfaction. That is the breakthrough. So, I cannot really say which is my one breakthrough, because I've had many breakthroughs, and every time, and as the word says, breakthrough, which means every time I faced a challenge, I've been able to break through that challenge and emerge victorious to myself. I don't care about what the world thinks. I feel I have done a great job. I feel I have been victorious, and that's what gives me the kick. I mean, to you, it may feel like a shitty job, but I feel I've done a great job. So that's my breakthrough.
Okay, let me reframe that question. What was your first breakthrough?
Again?
Your first, like, what was your first breakthrough into Bollywood? Who was the first actress you worked for?
Okay. My first actress that I worked with in Bollywood was Daisy Shah. When she was doing the Jai Ho promotions, when she was launched, we did the Jai Ho promotion. That was my, was it? Yeah, that's my first, to call, I mean, to say my first celebrity interaction was Daisy.
So who's your most favorite celebrity? Like, you love
Are you
working?
mad? I'm going to say that. No, but jokes apart, I have been very, very privileged, because a lot of people ask me that, you know, Arey, iske to bahut nakre hai, you face this nakra, that, and we've heard this. But let me tell you, I have been extremely privileged with all my artists, because I have got along so well with them that they are literally my friends now. So everybody has their own share of, like, I have my own share of fun with my own space with everybody. Like with Kiara, I will, you know, I have my own set of fun and my own set of, I get along with her on a certain parameter. With Madhuri ma'am, I get along on a certain parameter. With Alia, with Kareena. So all are, so I can't say one favorite. I enjoy my work with all of them because they are fun in their own ways. And once you get to know them, then you realize that they are just like you and me. And the way we are having a conversation right now is exactly the way we have a conversation. So it's just fun being around with these guys.
There's one more question.
Yeah.
One experience that changed you professionally.
Okay. Yeah, this I can answer because I can answer many, because many experiences have changed me professionally. So one experience, the experience which I remember the most, there are many, but this is something which I remember the most, is my first film, which happened to be a Bengali film, and which was not in India, which was shot in Thailand. So I had just come back from Singapore, flying high. that wow, I'm a Singapore, I'm like from makeup forever and I know everything, and Indian makeup artists, they don't understand anything and all of that. So I was in my, flying high and in my zone that, oh, I'm so cool and I'm so good. And again, boom, I fell flat on my face, because when I went there, we were shooting in Thailand and I was with Bruna. No, sorry, not Bruna. It was a Bengali film. So I was with one new girl who was being launched, and I goofed up with the makeup because it was a beach scene, and she was supposed to go in the water, and I did not know how to do underwater makeup. So I was like, oh my god, now what do I do? Every time she was going in the water, her makeup was dripping. And I was using the fanciest of fancy products which I had got from Singapore, thinking that, watch me guys, I'm like, like I've got the best products and all. It didn't work. And again, as I said, I was very apprehensive in my initial days of my career to ask for help. But because I was stuck, I was cornered, I had no choice, but I reached out to one of the local makeup dadas who was doing the makeup for the other characters. And I reached out for help that, Dada, please, if you can tell me. And he told me certain products which are desi products, which they use, and it worked perfectly well. So the learning from there, which actually changed my life as a professional makeup artist, is that reach out for help. You are as good as the person standing next to you. So I realized that just because I was trained from Makeup Forever did not make me a good makeup artist. What will actually make me a good makeup artist is when I have hands-on experience. Here, this guy, this makeup dada, had more experience than me because he was working in Indian climate. He knew how to handle Indian skin tone. He has worked his years in heat, cold, beach, mountain, all kind of locations and places, and he knew his work so well out of experience. Whereas I was trained in Singapore on Singaporean skin, in that weather, in an AC, and I was flying high. For what? For what? I don't know. Now I know. So the reality is that come down, be humble, love your work, and always, when I mean always, I mean in caps lock, in capitals, always be open to learning from uh, your colleague, your peer, from anyone, because understand one thing, every experience counts, whatever you learn. So trust me guys, that the, the technique that he taught me then, this was in 2012, the technique he taught me then has stayed with me till now, and that is something which I use for any underwater shoot, and it works fabulous. So you don't really have to go invest in fancy products and just for the show. You can actually, if you know your job, irrespective of the cost of the product, you can do it with anything and everything that's available with you. You need to know your job. So that's something which stayed with me forever.
Can you share that technique with us?
I don't know how much equipped you guys are with makeup. I mean, what knowledge you all have. There is this product called Derma, which has changed my life. It's from Cryoland. It's actually was initially made for treating skin discoloration. It's actually a dermatological product, which is very good for concealing, and it is a superb underwater product. And not only underwater, if since monsoons are coming, if you guys really want to wear makeup, and if you're into makeup, you can go ahead and buy Derma, because that's something which doesn't bleed. And if there are techniques of wearing it, of course. So if you wear it in the right technique, and if you are able to conceal your face minimally with that, it will not bleed. Even if you stand under the shower, it's not. I've seen people, and I have worked on people who want makeup and have gone to the gym, worked out, sweated like mad. Makeup has not moved.
So that's it.
So many people feel that makeup is not good for your skin. How to like?
Well, there's so many things which is not good for us. We still do it, right?
Yeah.
Chips is not good for us. Lay's is not good for us. Nutella is not good for us. We still do it. So it's not about good or bad. It's about how you use it. And honestly speaking, today we are lucky and we are privileged that all skincare and makeup products come with, they are so enriched with skincare products and skincare properties that it does minimal harm to your skin. And it's really not fair to say that makeup hurts your skin, because if you wear it in small quantities and less quantities, and if you know the technique of wearing it correctly, it will not do any harm to your skin for sure. But yes, if you are an actress and if you're facing harsh lights and you're wearing makeup 24/7, more than the makeup, it is the light which actually affects the UV rays, and the harsh light that we work on actually affects our skin. But a little bit of makeup doesn't hurt anybody. And when I say this, I mean it. It's not harmful for the skin. It may have chemicals, but even understand one thing. In that case, you should wear nothing but natural products. If you're wearing a moisturizer, it has chemicals. If you're wearing a night cream, it has chemicals. If you're using a toner, it has chemicals. If you're using an acne cream, it has chemicals. If you're using a talcum powder, it has chemicals. If you're using a perfume, it has chemicals. So that's not the logic. So I defy that logic.
I think there's
So
one more
what would
question.
I'll go
Yeah.
ahead with my question and then we
Malvika,
can
go
answer.
on.
I would like to know the change in makeup scenario in Bollywood, like over the years. You have been working in the industry since like past 10 years.
What
So,
exactly do you mean by the
like a
change?
transformation, like, the style of working, the way of working, the way you people used to do makeup, because that's what I can see. Like, the makeup used to be really loud back then, and it has turned
So
really
yeah,
sophisticated. So,
yeah. So as I said, there are a lot of new people coming in, and this happens with every industry when there is a full change of, it's a paradigm shift in makeup industry in Bollywood. It has been a paradigm shift where a lot of new people who have actually been trained, like we have actually been trained, so we exactly know the properties of a product, what works for the skin, what does not work for the skin. And when we start taking this up as a profession, obviously we understand how important it is to look natural, because gone are the days. And also understand, along with makeup artists, even makeup products have evolved. Even the Indian make products which we have today are so good, so good, they're so good for your skin. They have evolved so well that obviously you will automatically see a change in the shift in terms of the entire thing. So earlier, that was the trend. And not only in makeup, if you see in terms of costume, in terms of hair, in terms of everything, there has been a gradual shift to a more less is more casual, more minimalistic. So right now, all the characters are more of real characters, somebody who you and me can associate with, identify with. And you and me will not really wear a purple eyeshadow every day and go to work. I mean, I may, but I don't know about y'all. But so the character needs to be more relatable. And when the character is more relatable, it's about something which you and me, a regular girl, would do on a regular basis. And that's, I think, the biggest paradigm shift which has happened, and because of which the hair, the makeup, the outfit, and everything has become so muted and so casual that you would feel, oh, she could be my girl next door, or she could be my friend, or this could be me. So that's definitely been a change.
and what
Okay.
about professionally? Like, has it turned more professional, or was it always like this? Like, initially when you used to work and now that you work, have you seen
Hmm,
any?
honestly speaking, not much of change, because
Okay.
back then and now it is still a very disorganized sector. It's not an organized sector like the sector which I come from. Like initially when I was in finance, it's not an organized sector. It's a very disorganized sector. So I don't think it has changed that way much. Yeah, but people have become, if you can call that a change, then definitely it's a change, that people have become more aware. People have become more aware of what they do. People have become more conscious of what they do. And I also feel that there is a lot of camaraderie between people, which I don't think was there 10 years back. There's a lot of supporting each other, a lot of camaraderie. I have reached out to so many of my makeup artist friends, and they have helped me out. If I have not found a product, they have sent that product to my house. And if there's a shoot urgent tomorrow, and if I've fallen sick, I've called up that person and said, can you fill in for me? So that has, I just feel we've become the fraternity has formed. Like, you know, now we are like one fraternity instead of tu apna dekh, main apna dekhunga. That's not there. Which probably when I started off, or maybe I don't know, but this is something I don't know what it was then, because I was not exactly into the industry at that point in time. But I feel in the last 5 years, this thing has really come up that you really go out and help each other, and that's the way to sustain. That's the going forward. That's what is going to happen anyway. You have to support each other. You have to. That's the only way to sustain yourself. I mean, you can't grow individually. You have to grow collectively, and that's something which I believe, and I something which I really really propagate. So even with my assistants, whoever assists me, I never think of growing. Only I will grow. You know, it's always like, how can I grow with her or with them? Because if they are not being able to grow, and if I'm growing, I will have to stop at some point in time, because I have only two hands. I can only do one face at a time. So if I don't have a team, if I don't have a support system, my growth will be capped. So even for selfish reasons, even if you don't want to see the bigger picture and the good for others, even for selfish reasons, you should grow as a team, because that's how you reach out to a vast audience, a larger space.
There's one more question, Nikki.
Yeah.
So there's one question. How do you react when you give your best, but your client is not at all satisfied?
Okay. I believe in client is always right, because she's the one who's paying you. You have to figure out a way to make her happy. There have been, especially it happens a lot in bridals, because your perception of makeup and the other person's perception of makeup is very different. This is something which you don't face in Bollywood, because your artist, a celebrity, is pretty much in sync with what you are thinking, because you all come from the same same story, I would say. But for a bridal, you don't know what her perception of makeup is. And I have faced this many times, where my perception of makeup is something which has not gone very well with her, and I'm okay to change it, even if it does not work for me. If it works for her, I will do it. So I make sure that before I leave the room, she is 100% happy. That's when I put my likes and dislikes aside, and I listen to her. Like, of course, I'm open to giving my feedback, my suggestions. If she doesn't want to listen to it, I will still do what she wants me to do, because she is the one who needs to be happy. And especially for bridal, that's her special day. That's her main day. If she's not happy, it's not fair. I mean, so you have to make sure that your client is always happy, and come what may. That is non-negotiable, guys. I mean, that's something which I would strongly recommend, that no matter what, whether it goes with your perception of understanding or doesn't, your client is always right, and it is your duty to make sure that she's happy. So do what you're doing till she's happy. It's happened with me, where I had to wipe off her whole makeup and do it again. It's taken me double the hour, but I had to do it. And obviously I'm not going to charge her for doing her makeup twice,
Right.
because she was not happy with it. So customer centricity is very important, in any line, in any profession, in anything that you do. Because if your customer is not happy, you will never have a repeat client. So what's the fun if you don't have a repeat client?
If you don't mind me asking, you can
Yeah.
answer this question if you like. Like, what pays more? Like, does Bollywood pay more, or freelance projects like bridal makeup and stuff pay more? According to you?
It depends.
Okay.
I would say it's a chicken and egg situation, because all said and done in India, people have this huge attraction towards Bollywood, and people would want anything to get that look. Like, if today, if I've got clients who come to me and told me, I want to look like Priyanka Chopra of Desi Girl. So that's the kind of fixation they have. So as I said, it's a chicken and egg situation. If you have made a name in Bollywood, and if you are already known, then you can actually command a better price in bridals, because then people will not mind paying for a celebrity makeup artist, because they have seen your work on screen. But otherwise, for Bollywood also, you get very very well paid. Again, there are different levels. You will have to work your way up. It's not going to come easily. On the first day, you will not be paid the amount that a person who's been working for 10 years. That's not going to happen. So I'm not going to give you false hopes. That's not going to happen, guys. So you will have to work your way out. Yeah, so it's again, as I said, it depends on the kind of project that you are in and the kind of artist that you're working with. Depending on that, sometimes bridal pays more, sometimes your shoots pay more. So it's all a game of balance.
Would like
Great.
would you share some makeup
So
tips with us for like everyday
lastly,
makeup tips? Sorry,
Sorry?
Neeti, please go ahead.
no, continue, Margita.
No, please go ahead.
So, can you just share some makeup tips for a daily basis, like few tips?
Few, I can share many if y'all
Yeah,
are
if you can,
interested.
yeah.
Okay, so the boys in this group will get really bored, but I'm sure the girls will be interested. Well, I believe there is no rule in makeup. So there is no such rule ki aise hi karna chahiye. Nothing works like that. Something which works for your face may not work for my face, and something which works for my face may not work for your face. So you will have to figure out what works for you. But yes, the basic tips that you can keep in mind is make sure your skincare is very important, guys. So as we Neeti will identify with that, it's very important for the canvas to be correct for your painting to actually look the best. So similarly, your skin and your prep of skin has to be. I'm deviating from the topic. Neeti, can you see behind on my wall?
Yeah, oh my God. So many things.
Sorry. Let me get back. So
In a week.
yeah, in a week. So no, in 10 days. So
Uh,
yeah, as I said, this is another thing which I want to talk about, guys. That I'll come back to this. Just remind me if I forget. Yeah, so you need to take care of your skin. So I would say start with the basic, which is cleansing, toning, and moisturizing twice a day. It's very, very important. You need to cleanse your face. You need to tone your face. And why tone your face? Because a toner helps in closing the pores back. If you do not close your pores back, your pores remain open and it keeps attracting dust and grime and pollution. So it's important to cleanse your face, tone your face, and moisturize your face according to your skin type. Do this twice a day because your skin is very important. Once that is done, then depending on your like, your dislike, your preferences, and your pigmentation on the face, you could opt for a concealer. Or if you have a relatively clear skin and you don't have any acne marks or you don't have any pigmentation or dark circles, you can directly go for a very lightweight foundation. I'm assuming this question is for somebody who can wear makeup on a regular basis, and that's the reason why I'm saying a lightweight foundation, something which you can actually wear, keeping in mind that India is a tropical country and Bombay is super, super hot and humid. So keep something which is going to be very light, very fluid and very flowy and not going to stick to your face and make you feel cakey. Invest in a translucent powder. It's very important because if you don't set your base with the powder, likelihood that when you sit like this or you sit like this, everything is going to come up in your hands. Or when you talk on the phone, everything is going to be on your phone. That's for the base. And then if you love kajal, you can wear a bit of kajal. You can see I have taken this opportunity to dress up. So I have on kajal and mascara and everything, and I've been like, oh wow, I can't recognize myself now after 3 months. So yeah, wear a little kajal, and I feel personally the game changer is your brows and your mascara. It's very important to fill up your brows. People who have full brows, you don't need to worry about it. But people who have scanty brows like me, just a little bit of filling in, and don't change the shape of your brows. That's not what I mean. I mean just wherever there are gaps in your brows, just fill it up. And if you just use a mascara and a little bit of a cheek tint and a lip gloss, that's good for you. If that's something as basic, as simple, and it's something which you can actually achieve in 5-7 minutes. So this is the easiest makeup look that you can actually work on.
Thank you so much. That was a really helpful tip.
Thank you.
Any
So
product
something that you would like to
recommendations
share?
like
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. What I wanted to actually tell you all is that there is never feel that it's too late. If you are in a career which you are not happy with or if you don't like it, don't feel that just because I'm in it, I have to live with it for the rest of my life. It's not like that. And don't feel that, oh shit, I've already spent so many years. Ab kya change karna? It's never too late. I have changed my career after 8 years, and right now I don't even know if I want to take up art as an alternate career. It may not be my full plan. I mean, my makeup is my first love, so I'm never going to give up on makeup. But I don't mind taking up art as an alternate career because it's something which is giving me immense happiness, and I'm loving each and every piece that I create. So I'm not thinking about the fact that, oh shit, it's too late. Do you think I should start something new now? Why not? I mean, just go ahead and feel free to do something, irrespective of the fact that it's late. It's never too late. Whenever you start is the right time and is the best time. And this is something which I really wanted to share with all of you out there.
Thank you. That was some amazing
Thank
advice and
you.
some really good tips. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
So guys, if you want to check out some videos, makeup videos and everything, you can just go on Lekha's page, Instagram page. So this is her Instagram handle. And thank you so much, Lekha, for this session. It was
Thank you so
wonderful.
much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope my advice has helped a lot of people. And please feel free to reach out to me in case you have any makeup related advice, queries, or any makeup related career advice. If you want, I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Thank you so
That
much.
was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lekha.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye. See ya. Take care.
Bye.